In a world where happiness often seems like a fleeting moment, a story unfolds that challenges our understanding of joy. In a serene monastery nestled between misty mountains, lived a wise Zen master known for his boundless happiness. The villagers would often whisper about how he remained perpetually content despite life's trials. This was not just a rumor, it was the truth of his existence. His secret to everlasting joy was a lesson deeply rooted in Buddhism and Zen philosophy. As the sun began to rise, casting its gentle light over the ancient temple, the Zen master would sit in quiet contemplation, his face adorned with a serene smile that seemed to radiate an inner peace. He wasn't just another figure lost in meditation. He was living proof that true happiness is not a destination but a way of being. One crisp morning, a curious young monk named Tenzin approached the master, eager to uncover the source of his perpetual happiness. Tenzin had noticed that, unlike others who were constantly chasing after fleeting pleasures, the master seemed to possess an unshakable joy. The Zen master welcomed him with a warm smile, his eyes twinkling with a depth of understanding that only years of practice could cultivate. "Master," Tenzin began, "how is it that you remain so happy, even in the face of life's inevitable challenges?" The Zen master motioned for Tenzin to sit beside him, and as they both gazed at the tranquil beauty of the surrounding landscape, he began to share a story. "Happiness," the master said softly, "is not something you find outside of yourself. It is not bound by the circumstances of life, nor is it contingent on possessions or achievements. Instead, happiness is a state of being, a way of perceiving the world that comes from within." He continued to explain that in Buddhism, happiness is closely linked to the concept of sukha, which refers to a deep and enduring sense of well-being and contentment. This kind of happiness is cultivated through practices like mindfulness, compassion, and letting go of attachments. The master shared that the foundation of his joy lay in understanding the transient nature of life and embracing each moment with gratitude and acceptance. As Tenzin listened, he began to realize that the master's happiness was not a mere coincidence or a result of external factors. It was the outcome of a lifetime dedicated to spiritual practice and inner growth. The master encouraged Tenzin to look within himself, to seek out the source of joy that was already present in his own heart. "The path to eternal happiness," he said, "lies in recognizing and nurturing the peace that resides within you." The young monk felt a sense of awe and wonder. He had always believed that happiness was something to be achieved or acquired, but the master's words were opening his eyes to a different reality. The journey to understanding true joy, he realized, was not about changing the world around him, but about transforming his own perceptions and attitudes. As the morning sun climbed higher in the sky, Tenzin and the Zen master continued their conversation, exploring the depths of happiness and how it could be cultivated through mindful living. The master spoke of the importance of living in the present moment, of appreciating the simple joys of life, and of letting go of the endless chase for more. Each lesson was a gentle reminder that happiness was not a distant goal but a present possibility. Before the conversation ended, the Zen master gave Tenzin a task. "Practice being present with yourself," he instructed. "Notice the moments of joy that arise naturally and learn to embrace them fully. Let go of the need for external validation and find contentment in your own being." As Tenzin left the master's side, he felt a newfound sense of hope and determination. The journey to discovering his own happiness had just begun, and he was eager to explore it further. The teachings he had received would become the guiding light in his quest for a joy that was not fleeting but everlasting. In the days that followed, Tenzin practiced the master's teachings with dedication. He noticed the subtle changes in his perception and began to experience moments of profound contentment. The wisdom he had gained was not just theoretical but practical, a living truth that was slowly transforming his life. The story of the Zen master's happiness spread throughout the monastery, inspiring others to seek their own paths to joy. The The teachings of Buddhism and Zen philosophy became a source of guidance for those who wished to experience a deeper, more enduring sense of well-being. And so, as Tenzin embarked on his journey, he carried with him the hope of discovering the true nature of happiness. The story of the Zen master served as a beacon, illuminating the path to a joy that was not dependent on external circumstances but rooted in the inner self. If you found inspiration in this story, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Woven for more enlightening content. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the secrets to enduring happiness in the next part of our journey. As Tenzin embarked on his journey of self-discovery, he began to understand that happiness was not just a fleeting emotion, but a state of mind that could be cultivated through practice. The teachings of the Zen master had planted a seed of curiosity and hope within him, and now it was up to Tenzin to nurture that seed and watch it grow. One day, while walking through the tranquil forest surrounding the monastery, Tenzin encountered an elderly monk named Li. Monk Li was known for his deep wisdom and gentle demeanor. He spent his days tending to the monastery's garden, finding joy in the simple act of nurturing the earth. Seeing Tenzin's contemplative expression, Monk Li greeted him with a warm smile. "Young monk, you seem troubled. What brings you to this peaceful place?" Tenzin shared his thoughts with Monk Li, explaining the Zen master's teachings and his desire to find true and lasting happiness. Monk Li listened attentively, nodding thoughtfully. "Ah, the pursuit of happiness," he said. "It is a journey that requires patience and self-awareness. Many seek happiness outside themselves, but the true path lies within." Monk Li invited Tenzin to join him in the garden, where he tended to the plants with great care. As they worked together, Monk Li spoke about the importance of cultivating inner peace. Just as we care for these plants, we must also nurture our own minds and hearts. Happiness grows from the seeds of compassion, mindfulness, and understanding. Tenzin observed Monk Li's dedication to his work and felt a sense of calm and contentment. The simple yet profound act of tending to the garden became a metaphor for his own journey. He realized that, much like the plants, his own happiness required attention and care. As days turned into weeks, Tenzin began to incorporate the lessons he had learned into his daily life. He practiced mindfulness during his meditation sessions, paying close attention to his thoughts and feelings. He learned to embrace each moment with gratitude, finding joy in the simple pleasures of life. One evening, while meditating by the peaceful river that flowed near the monastery, Tenzin experienced a moment of profound insight. He realized that happiness was not something to be chased or attained, but rather something to be recognized and embraced. It was a state of being that was always present, waiting to be acknowledged. The Zen master's teachings and Monk Li's wisdom had illuminated a new path for Tenzin. He began to understand that true happiness was not dependent on external achievements or possessions, but on his own inner state of mind. By cultivating mindfulness, compassion, and acceptance, he could tap into a source of joy that was ever-present and enduring. As Tenzin continued his journey, he shared his newfound understanding with the other monks at the monastery. His insights resonated with them, and many began to explore their own paths to happiness. The monastery became a place of learning and growth, where the teachings of Buddhism and Zen philosophy were embraced and practiced with dedication. One day, Tenzin encountered a young novice monk named Mei, who was struggling with feelings of frustration and discontent. Tenzin shared his own experiences and the wisdom he had gained from the Zen master and Monk Li. "Happiness," Tenzin said gently, "is not about seeking or achieving. It is about recognizing the joy that is already within you and learning to embrace it." Mei listened attentively and began to apply Tenzin's insights to her own life. She found solace in the practice of mindfulness and discovered that, like Tenzin, she too could experience moments of deep contentment and peace. As time went on, Tenzin's journey of self-discovery became a source of inspiration for others. The monastery thrived as a place of spiritual growth, where the teachings of happiness and inner peace were passed on from one generation to the next. The Zen master's wisdom continued to guide and uplift those who sought a deeper understanding of joy. The story of Tenzin's transformation and the lessons he learned from the Zen master and monkly spread far beyond the monastery's walls. People from distant lands came to seek the wisdom that had inspired such profound change. They too were drawn to the idea that happiness was not a distant goal but an intrinsic part of their own being. As Tenzin's understanding of happiness deepened, he began to explore the practice of inner stillness, a key element in the Zen master's teachings. This practice was not merely about physical tranquility but involved a profound inner calm that allowed him to connect with his true self. Inner stillness, Tenzin learned, was essential for cultivating a deep, lasting sense of joy. One crisp autumn morning, as the leaves fell gently from the trees, Tenzin sat by a quiet pond reflecting on the wisdom he had gathered. The pond, with its still waters, served as a perfect metaphor for the stillness he sought within himself. The Zen master had often spoken of this stillness as a way to silence the noise of the mind and connect with the essence of being. During his meditation, Tenzin remembered a story the Zen master once shared. It was about a monk named Hashin who had struggled with constant distractions and restlessness. Despite his efforts, he found it challenging to maintain a state of inner calm. One day, a wise elder monk advised him to focus not on eliminating distractions, but on embracing the stillness that lay beneath them. Hashin realized that by acknowledging and accepting his inner turbulence, he could access a deeper level of peace. Inspired by this story, Tenzin began to practice a new form of meditation. Instead of trying to force his mind into silence, he allowed himself to be present with whatever thoughts and feelings arose. He observed them without judgment, acknowledging their presence and gently guiding his attention back to his breath. This approach to meditation helped him to discover a profound sense of inner stillness, even amidst the chaos of his thoughts. The practice of inner stillness also involved embracing moments of quiet throughout the day. Tenzin made a conscious effort to integrate periods of silence into his routine, whether during his daily tasks or while interacting with others. He found that these moments of calm allowed him to reset his mind and return to a state of equilibrium. It was in these silent pauses that he felt a deep connection with himself and a renewed sense of joy. One afternoon, while practicing his meditation by the river, Tenzin was joined by Mei, the young novice monk he had previously guided. Mei was struggling with feelings of anxiety and impatience, and she sought Tenzin's advice. Tenzin shared his experiences with her, explaining how inner stillness had become a source of peace and joy in his life. Together, they practiced meditation by the river's edge. Tenzin guided Mei through the process of embracing her thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. He encouraged her to focus on her breath and to find a sense of calm within the stillness. As they meditated, Mei began to experience moments of clarity and tranquility, feeling the weight of her anxieties lift. Over time, Mei's practice of inner stillness transformed her approach to life. She learned to respond to challenges with a calm and composed mind, rather than reacting impulsively. The practice of embracing stillness became a cornerstone of her spiritual journey, helping her to cultivate a deep and lasting sense of happiness. The impact of inner stillness extended beyond the individual practice of Tenzin and Mei. The entire monastery began to embrace the concept, incorporating moments of silence and reflection into their daily routines. The atmosphere within the monastery shifted, becoming a place of greater harmony and peace. The monks found that by cultivating inner stillness, they were able to experience a more profound connection with themselves and with each other. The practice of inner stillness also revealed deeper insights into the nature of happiness. Tenzin discovered that true joy was not dependent on external circumstances but was an inherent quality of the mind. By accessing inner stillness, he could tap into a wellspring of happiness that was always present, regardless of life's fluctuations. As Tenzin continued his journey, he shared his experiences with others, emphasizing the importance of inner stillness in achieving lasting happiness. His teachings resonated with many, and the practice of embracing stillness became a central theme in the monastery's spiritual teachings. The story of Tenzin and Mei's transformation spread, inspiring countless others to explore the power of inner calm. As Tenzin's journey of inner stillness deepened, he came to realize that another crucial aspect of cultivating happiness was embracing the present moment. The Zen master had often spoken about the power of living fully in the now, and Tenzin was eager to explore this concept further. Embracing the present moment involved letting go of regrets about the past and worries about the future, focusing instead on the richness of the current experience. One bright morning, while walking through the temple grounds, Tenzin noticed a delicate flower blooming amidst a sea of green leaves. He paused to admire its beauty, appreciating the vibrant colors and intricate details. This simple moment of observation was a reminder of the profound joy that could be found in the present. The flower's fleeting existence was a metaphor for the impermanence of all things, and Tenzin realized that truly appreciating such moments required mindfulness and presence. Tenzin's awareness of the present moment grew as he began to incorporate mindfulness practices into his daily life. He learned to fully engage in each activity, whether it was eating a meal, washing dishes, or conversing with others. By paying attention to the sensory details and experiences of each moment, he found that life became richer and more meaningful. One day, Tenzin met with Mei, who was struggling with feelings of anxiety about her future. Mei had been preoccupied with worries about her path and achievements, which made it difficult for her to enjoy the present. Tenzin shared his insights on the importance of living in the moment and suggested a simple practice to help her shift her focus. Try to engage fully in whatever you are doing, Tenzin advised. When you eat, savor each bite. When you speak with someone, truly listen to them. Allow yourself to be fully present in each experience, and you will find that the present moment holds its own joy and contentment. Inspired by Tenzin's advice, Mei began to practice mindfulness in her daily life. She made a conscious effort to immerse herself in each moment, paying attention to the details and sensations of her experiences. Slowly, she noticed a shift in her outlook. By focusing on the present, she found that her anxieties about the future diminished, and she began to experience a deeper sense of peace and satisfaction. The practice of embracing the present moment also extended to Tenzin's interactions with others. He learned to approach each conversation with genuine presence, listening attentively and responding with empathy. This shift in his approach strengthened his relationships and fostered a greater sense of connection with those around him. As Tenzin continued to practice mindfulness, he became more attuned to the subtle joys and wonders of life. He realized that happiness was not something to be pursued in the distant future but was available in each moment of awareness. By living fully in the present, he discovered a deeper, more enduring sense of contentment. The impact of embracing the present moment was evident throughout the monastery. The monks began to practice mindfulness in their daily routines, finding joy in the simplicity of their activities. The atmosphere within the monastery shifted, becoming more vibrant and harmonious as everyone learned to appreciate the richness of each moment. One afternoon, as Tenzin meditated by the serene pond, he reflected on the profound impact of living in the present. He observed the gentle ripples on the water and the soft rustling of the leaves, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for the beauty of the moment. This experience reinforced his understanding that true happiness could be found in the simple act of being present. Tenzin's journey of embracing the present moment became a source of inspiration for others. His teachings on mindfulness and presence resonated with many, and the practice of living fully in the now became a central theme in the monastery's spiritual teachings. The story of Tenzin's transformation continued to spread, inspiring countless individuals to explore the power of the present moment. As Tenzin's journey progressed, he encountered the powerful practice of acceptance, a crucial component in the pursuit of enduring happiness. Acceptance, he learned, was about embracing life's realities, both the pleasant and the challenging, without resistance. The Zen master had emphasized that true peace comes from accepting things as they are, rather than how we wish them to be. One day, Tenzin found himself facing a particularly difficult situation. A severe storm had damaged part of the monastery's roof, causing significant disruption and requiring urgent repairs. The monks were busy assessing the damage and organizing repairs, and the atmosphere was one of stress and frustration. Tenzin felt a wave of frustration himself, but he remembered the Zen master's teachings on acceptance. Rather than resisting the situation or wishing for it to be different, Tenzin chose to embrace the reality of the moment. He joined the other monks in their efforts, approaching the task with a calm and open heart. By accepting the situation as it was, he found that he could engage with it more effectively and with greater ease. As Tenzin worked alongside the monks, he noticed that his acceptance of the situation transformed his experience. Instead of feeling burdened by the repairs, he began to appreciate the opportunity to contribute to the monastery and support his fellow monks. The act of acceptance allowed him to approach the work with a sense of purpose and gratitude. One afternoon, while taking a break from the repairs, Tenzin met Mei, who was also involved in the efforts. Mei was struggling with feelings of frustration and helplessness, feeling overwhelmed by the extent of the damage. Tenzin shared his own experience with her, explaining how acceptance had helped him find peace amidst the chaos. "Acceptance doesn't mean resignation," Tenzin said gently. "It means acknowledging and embracing the present reality without resistance. By accepting things as they are, we can find peace and clarity, even in difficult situations." Inspired by Tenzin's words, Mei began to practice acceptance in her own way. She learned to approach the repairs with a sense of calm and openness, rather than focusing on her frustrations. As she embraced the situation, she found that her stress diminished, and she was able to contribute more effectively. The practice of acceptance extended beyond the immediate situation of the repairs. Tenzin and Mei began to apply the principle of acceptance to other aspects of their lives. They learned to embrace their own imperfections, as well as the imperfections of others. By letting go of the need for things to be perfect, they found a deeper sense of peace and contentment. The impact of acceptance was evident throughout the monastery. The monks began to approach challenges with a greater sense of equanimity, finding peace in the acceptance of whatever came their way. The atmosphere within the monastery became more harmonious, as everyone learned to embrace life's realities with grace and understanding. One evening, as Tenzin meditated by the river, he reflected on the power of acceptance in his journey. He realized that true happiness was not about controlling or changing external circumstances, but about embracing and accepting them with an open heart. This insight deepened his understanding of the Zen master's teachings and reinforced his commitment to living with acceptance. Tenzin's story of acceptance and the lessons he learned from the Zen master and his own experiences became a source of inspiration for others. The practice of acceptance was integrated into the monastery's teachings, and many found that it brought a profound sense of peace and contentment to their lives. As Tenzin delved deeper into his journey, he encountered the transformative power of compassion. The Zen master had often spoken about compassion as a vital component of true happiness, a force that not only benefits others but also enriches our own lives. Compassion, Tenzin learned, was more than just feeling sympathy. It was an active expression of care and understanding. One winter morning, while Tenzin was tending to the monastery's garden, he noticed a young monk named Kai struggling with his tasks. Kai had been assigned the responsibility of clearing snow from the temple steps, but he seemed overwhelmed and disheartened by the task. Tenzin approached him with a sense of empathy and concern. "Kai," Tenzin said gently, "I see you are having a hard time. Is there something I can help you with?" Kai looked up with a tired expression and admitted, "I'm feeling discouraged. The task seems never-ending, and I'm struggling to keep up." Tenzin recognized an opportunity to practice compassion. Instead of simply offering assistance, he joined Kai in clearing the snow, working alongside him with patience and understanding. As they worked together, Tenzin encouraged Kai with kind words and reminded him of the importance of taking things one step at a time. Through this experience, Kai felt a renewed sense of hope and motivation. The compassionate support from Tenzin not only helped him complete his task but also lifted his spirits. This encounter highlighted the profound impact that compassion can have on both the giver and the receiver. Tenzin also reflected on how compassion could be applied to oneself. He realized that self-compassion was essential for maintaining a balanced and joyful life. By treating himself with kindness and understanding, he could better navigate his own challenges and setbacks. One day, as Tenzin sat in meditation, he recalled a story from the Zen master about a monk named Ryu who had struggled with self-criticism and self-doubt. Ryu's journey to self-compassion involved recognizing his own suffering and extending the same kindness to himself that he offered to others. This practice of self-compassion allowed Ryu to find peace and acceptance within himself. Inspired by this story, Tenzin began to practice self-compassion in his own life. He learned to approach his mistakes and shortcomings with understanding, rather than harsh judgment. This shift in perspective allowed him to cultivate a greater sense of inner peace and resilience. The practice of compassion also extended to the broader community beyond the monastery. Tenzin and his fellow monks engaged in various acts of service, including helping those in need and offering support to the local community. They found that acts of compassion, no matter how small, contributed to a greater sense of connection and fulfillment. One afternoon, Tenzin and Mei visited a nearby village to offer assistance to the elderly residents. They spent time talking with them, helping with daily tasks, and providing companionship. The experience of serving others deepened their understanding of compassion and its power to bring joy and healing. As they returned to the monastery, Tenzin and Mei reflected on the impact of their efforts. They realized that compassion had the power to create a ripple effect, touching the lives of many and fostering a sense of unity and harmony. The principles of compassion became a central theme in the monastery's teachings. The monks embraced a life of service and kindness, finding joy in the act of giving and supporting others. The atmosphere within the monastery was marked by a sense of warmth and generosity, as everyone contributed to the collective well-being. Tenzin's journey of compassion and the lessons he learned from the Zen master and his own experiences became a source of inspiration for many. The practice of compassion was integrated into daily life, and its transformative power was celebrated and cherished. As Tenzin continued to explore the teachings of the Zen master, he began to appreciate the profound beauty of simplicity. Simplicity, he learned, was not merely about living with fewer possessions or reducing complexity. It was about finding clarity and joy in the essentials of life. The Zen master had often spoken of simplicity as a way to uncover the true essence of happiness. One serene afternoon, while walking through the monastery's garden, Tenzin noticed the beauty in the simplest of things: the delicate petals of a blooming flower, the gentle hum of a bee, and the soft rustling of leaves in the breeze. These simple elements of nature brought him a deep sense of peace and contentment, reminding him of the elegance found in simplicity. Inspired by these observations, Tenzin decided to apply the principle of simplicity to his own life. He began by decluttering his living space, removing unnecessary items and focusing on the essentials. This process of simplification not only created a more orderly environment but also brought a sense of calm and clarity to his mind. The Zen master had shared a story about a monk named Shinji who had embraced a life of simplicity. Shinji lived in a modest hut with only a few possessions, yet he found profound joy and fulfillment in his simple existence. By focusing on the essentials and letting go of material distractions, Shinji experienced a deep sense of contentment and connection with the world around him. Tenzin reflected on Shinji's story and realized that simplicity was not just about reducing physical possessions but also about simplifying the mind. He began to practice mindfulness and reduce mental clutter by focusing on the present moment and letting go of unnecessary worries and distractions. One day, Mei approached Tenzin with a concern about her busy schedule. She felt overwhelmed by the demands of her responsibilities and struggled to find balance. Tenzin shared his insights on simplicity, encouraging Mei to evaluate her commitments and focus on what truly mattered. Sometimes, Tenzin said, we become entangled in complexity, which can cloud our sense of peace and joy. By simplifying our lives and focusing on what is truly important, we can find greater clarity and fulfillment. Mei took Tenzin's advice to heart and began to simplify her own life. She evaluated her priorities and made conscious choices to reduce unnecessary commitments. As she embraced simplicity, she found that her stress levels decreased, and she was able to appreciate the beauty and richness of her daily experiences. The practice of simplicity also extended to the monastery's daily routines. The monks adopted a more streamlined approach to their activities, focusing on essential tasks and letting go of excess. This shift in perspective created a more harmonious and balanced environment, where each moment was valued and appreciated. One evening, as Tenzin sat by a tranquil pond, he marveled at the simplicity of nature. The stillness of the water, the gentle rustling of leaves, and the distant call of birds brought him a profound sense of peace. This experience reinforced his understanding that simplicity could lead to a deeper connection with oneself and with the world. The principles of simplicity became a cornerstone of the monastery's teachings. The monks celebrated the beauty of simplicity in their daily lives, finding joy and fulfillment in the essentials. The atmosphere within the monastery was marked by a sense of tranquility and appreciation for the simple pleasures of life. Tenzin's journey of embracing simplicity and the lessons he learned from the Zen master and his own experiences inspired many. The practice of simplicity was integrated into the lives of others, bringing a renewed sense of clarity and contentment. As Tenzin's journey unfolded, he encountered the transformative power of gratitude and appreciation. The Zen master had emphasized that cultivating a grateful heart was essential for finding true happiness. Tenzin learned that gratitude was more than just a fleeting feeling. It was a deep, abiding appreciation for the blessings and experiences of life. One crisp autumn morning, while walking through the monastery's orchard, Tenzin reflected on the abundance that surrounded him. The trees were laden with ripe fruit, and the crisp air was filled with the scent of harvest. This simple, natural bounty reminded him of the many things he had to be grateful for, both big and small. Tenzin decided to start a practice of daily gratitude. Each morning, he took a few moments to reflect on the things he appreciated, from the beauty of nature to the kindness of others. He found that this practice not only uplifted his spirits, but also deepened his connection with the world around him. One day, Tenzin encountered Mei, who was feeling discouraged and disheartened by recent challenges in her life. Noticing her distress, Tenzin gently encouraged her to explore the practice of gratitude. Sometimes, Tenzin said, it's easy to focus on what we lack or what is troubling us. But if we shift our focus to the things we are grateful for, we can find a sense of peace and contentment, even amidst difficulties. Mei decided to try this practice and began keeping a gratitude journal. Each evening, she wrote down a few things she was thankful for, ranging from simple pleasures to meaningful experiences. As she continued this practice, Mei noticed a shift in her perspective. She began to feel more positive and hopeful, finding joy in the everyday moments she had previously overlooked. The practice of gratitude also extended to Tenzin's interactions with others. He made a conscious effort to express appreciation for the kindness and efforts of those around him. Whether it was a word of thanks to a fellow monk or a gesture of appreciation towards the community, Tenzin found that expressing gratitude strengthened his relationships and fostered a sense of connection. One afternoon, Tenzin and Mei visited a local community center to assist with a charity event. They helped prepare meals and distribute supplies to those in need. During this experience, Tenzin observed the impact of gratitude on both the recipients and the volunteers. The act of giving and receiving appreciation created a ripple effect of warmth and kindness. The Zen master had once shared a story about a monk named Haru who had faced great hardship but maintained a grateful heart. Despite his struggles, Haru found solace in his daily practice of gratitude. This attitude of appreciation allowed him to find happiness and peace even in challenging circumstances. Tenzin found inspiration in Haru's story and saw how gratitude could transform one's experience of life. As Tenzin embraced gratitude more deeply, he noticed that it not only brought him joy but also allowed him to approach life's challenges with greater resilience. By appreciating the good amidst the difficulties, he found a sense of balance and hope. The practice of gratitude became a central theme in the monastery's teachings. The monks celebrated the blessings of their lives and encouraged one another to cultivate a grateful heart. This emphasis on gratitude created a positive and uplifting atmosphere within the monastery, where each member felt valued and appreciated. Tenzin's journey of gratitude and appreciation, along with the lessons he learned from the Zen master and his own experiences, became a source of inspiration for many. The practice of gratitude was integrated into the lives of others, bringing a renewed sense of joy and fulfillment. As Tenzin's journey continued, he encountered the essential principles of balance and moderation, which the Zen master had highlighted as key elements in achieving lasting happiness. Tenzin discovered that balance and moderation were not just about managing extremes but about finding harmony in all aspects of life. These principles helped in navigating both internal and external challenges with a sense of equanimity. One day, Tenzin observed the monks preparing for the annual festival. The preparations were elaborate, involving intricate decorations and extensive planning. While everyone was busy with the tasks, Tenzin noticed that some monks seemed overwhelmed by the demands, while others appeared too detached from the process. This discrepancy sparked his curiosity about the role of balance in their efforts. Tenzin approached the Zen master to seek guidance on how to maintain balance amid such intense activities. The Zen master shared a valuable lesson. Balance is not about avoiding extremes, but about finding the middle path. In all things, whether in work or in rest, seek moderation. Overindulgence and deprivation both lead to imbalance. Inspired by these words, Tenzin decided to apply the principle of balance to his own life. He began by examining his daily routines and activities, ensuring that he was not overcommitting or neglecting important aspects of his well-being. He focused on balancing his time between work, rest, and personal reflection. One evening, while meditating by a peaceful stream, Tenzin reflected on the impact of balance in his life. He realized that true balance involved not only managing external activities but also maintaining internal harmony. By balancing his thoughts and emotions, he was better able to navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and clarity. The principle of moderation also played a crucial role in Tenzin's approach to mindfulness and spiritual practice. He learned that moderation was key to sustaining a meaningful practice without falling into the traps of rigidity or complacency. The Zen master had once shared a story about a monk named Hiroshi who practiced moderation in all aspects of his life. Hiroshi found that by avoiding extremes and embracing a balanced approach, he was able to cultivate a deep and lasting sense of peace. Tenzin took this lesson to heart and began to incorporate moderation into his own practices. He approached meditation with a sense of openness and flexibility, allowing himself to experience the practice without rigid expectations. He also found balance in his interactions with others, being mindful of not overextending himself while also offering genuine support and connection. One day, Mei came to Tenzin with concerns about her work-life balance. She felt that her work commitments were consuming too much of her time, leaving little space for personal growth and relaxation. Tenzin shared his insights on balance and moderation, encouraging Mei to evaluate her priorities and set boundaries to create a more harmonious life. Mei took Tenzin's advice and began to implement changes in her routine. She set aside dedicated time for self-care and reflection, while also finding ways to manage her work responsibilities more effectively. As she embraced the principles of balance and moderation, she found a renewed sense of energy and fulfillment in her daily life. The practice of balance and moderation extended to the monastery's teachings and daily routines. The monks adopted a more balanced approach to their work and practices, ensuring that they maintained a sense of harmony and well-being. This emphasis on balance created a supportive and nurturing environment where each member could thrive. Tenzin's journey of balance and moderation, along with the lessons he learned from the Zen master and his own experiences, inspired many. The principles of balance and moderation became integral to the lives of others, bringing a sense of equilibrium and harmony. As Tenzin's journey through the principles of Zen continued, he encountered the profound power of forgiveness and the importance of letting go. The Zen master had often emphasized that holding on to grudges and past hurts only obstructed the path to true happiness. Forgiveness, Tenzin learned, was not just about freeing others from their wrongs but about liberating oneself from the burden of resentment and anger. One chilly evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Tenzin sat by the monastery's hearth reflecting on his recent interactions. He realized that he was still holding onto a lingering grievance from a past disagreement with a fellow monk. The sense of unresolved conflict weighed heavily on his mind, impeding his peace and contentment. Determined to find a resolution, Tenzin approached the Zen master for guidance. The master shared a story about a wise monk named Daichi who had struggled with deep-seated resentment towards a close friend. Daichi's journey towards forgiveness involved confronting his own pain and understanding the impact of holding on to anger. Through self-reflection and compassion, Daichi eventually found the strength to forgive, which brought him a sense of liberation and inner peace. Tenzin took this lesson to heart and decided to confront his own feelings. He recognized that holding on to grudges was only hurting himself and preventing him from moving forward. He made a conscious effort to let go of his resentment and practice forgiveness, both towards others and himself. One day, Tenzin reached out to the fellow monk with whom he had had a disagreement. He expressed his feelings openly and sought to understand the other's perspective. The conversation was not easy, but it was filled with honesty and a genuine desire to reconcile. Through this dialogue, Tenzin was able to release his grievances and rebuild the connection with a renewed sense of respect and understanding. The act of forgiveness also extended to Tenzin's relationship with himself. He began to practice self-forgiveness for past mistakes and imperfections. By acknowledging his shortcomings with compassion, he was able to let go of self-criticism and embrace a more forgiving attitude towards himself. The Zen master once shared a parable about a traveler carrying a heavy sack of stones. The sack represented the burdens of past grievances and resentments. As the traveler journeyed, the weight of the sack grew heavier, making the journey more arduous. Only by setting down the sack and letting go of the burdens could the traveler continue with ease and lightness. Tenzin found this parable to be a powerful reminder of the benefits of letting go. He realized that forgiveness was akin to setting down the heavy sack, freeing oneself from the weight of negative emotions. This practice allowed him to approach life with a greater sense of freedom and lightness. The principle of forgiveness and letting go became a central theme in the monastery's teachings. The monks embraced this practice in their interactions and relationships, fostering an environment of harmony and mutual respect. By letting go of past hurts and embracing forgiveness, the community experienced a deeper sense of unity and peace. Tenzin's journey of forgiveness and letting go, along with the lessons he learned from the Zen master and his own experiences, inspired many. The practice of forgiveness was integrated into the lives of others, bringing a renewed sense of liberation and joy. If you found inspiration in the power of forgiveness and letting go, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Woven for more stories and insights into living a life of joy and fulfillment. Stay tuned as we continue our journey, exploring the role of embracing change and adaptability in achieving lasting happiness in the next part of our story.